Okay, we're talking about chapter 19 today, if you've been reading ahead. And this is the chapter that says if Jesus was serious, then we will recognize every person as valuable. And this is from the first part we just read where Jesus talks about murder. And obviously it makes sense that if you murder somebody, there's consequences for that, right? Makes sense. Jesus equates that with anger, which we've been talking about. If you've been following along with the podcast last couple of weeks, we've been concentrating on anger. And that's pretty shocking, really, isn't it? To equate murder with just being angry at someone. But this next part for me is even more shocking. Because a calm demeanor doesn't necessarily mean that our hearts are in the right place towards others. So Jesus addresses a very dangerous form of anger, contempt. So we read the part where it says basically not to insult another person. And the word that's translated as idiot or fool there is raka, which actually is a contemptual term. Contempt seeks to diminish the inherent value of another person, race or gender, etc. And basically, I think what it does is it gives us a feeling of superiority when we do that. So it lets or allows us to treat other people as less than human, not even worthy of love or even our anger. They become to us in some ways subhuman, so we exclude them from care or from thought, like we call that today cancel culture, and dignity. And you might say, oh, I would never do that, but it is kind of easy to do. If someone hurts you or hurts someone you love, it's pretty easy for us to kind of write them off and just ignore them for the rest of our lives. That's actually a form of contempt. And if we think about it, I don't know if any of you watch or look at or read social media, but there are people that actually build whole audiences around contempt. Contempt for other people, other political parties, other religions, other sexuality, race, economic status, vaccination status, conspiracy theories. In fact, I would say right at this moment in time that our culture is very divided. Does that make sense for everybody? Probably more divided than it's been in a very, very long time. But here Jesus is saying that every person is valuable to God. And if we read through Scripture, we see the reason for that. And that is because they are made in the image of God. We are made in the image of God. I, believe it or not, am made in the image of God. You are made in the image of God. So it's okay to attack ideas. And if they're attacking theological ideas, our defense of that would be called apologetics. So that's where we defend our faith based on our knowledge and understanding of Scripture. So it's okay to attack ideas, but it's not okay to attack people. We can't say that people are stupid because of what they believe. Then we're getting into that dangerous territory of contempt. And you might say, oh, come on, what's the big deal? No one's really being hurt by this. At least no one's being physically hurt by contempt, but we'll see as we go in and jump into the next chapter, which is also about contempt in the book, that it can actually become very hurtful.